me, CX and EX are two sides of the coin in a successful business, and C- good EX fuels outstanding CX. If you have happy customers, they deliver great customer experiences, and when I think about it from a business perspective, CX is largely focused on the revenue side of the house. And when you deliver great CX, you can grow your business. EX delivers profitability. When you have happy employees, they stay longer, your employee costs go down, the employees achieve mastery and deliver better CX in a virtuous cycle. So CX and EX to me are really critically important two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, look, couldn't agree more. For me, if I look at the word CX and EX, so employee experience, right, is the art behind delivering exceptional customer experience, right? The customer engagement platforms we provide, the technology we provide, provides the science into that. Now, when we deliver good customer experience, and you can go and quote any reports, whether it's the NTT benchmarking report, it's the Genesis customer survey reports, you'll see that at a board level, there is an overwhelming agreement that good customer experience results has a direct reflection on improved profitability, right? So to Asaf's point, it's two sides of the same coin. You can't do one without the other, because at the end of the day, we are in the business of what we call creating emotional connections, right? And for that to work, the two need to tango hand in hand. Look, when you look at value proposition, there are multiple tenets to it, right? You could have a massive product differentiation, or you have a service differentiation. And quite often, to be ahead of the curve, you need both, right? So you could have the best customer experience and the best employee experience, but if your products aren't innovating enough, you could become irrelevant, right? So they need to go hand in hand, right? If you're working in an industry, let's say example, when we looked at the large-scale banks over the years, what was their differentiation? They're heavy regulated, same business model. It was the experience they provide. Income, the digital natives, the digital banks, boom. The products are very different. They have to compete in both fronts, start new business models. So it depends on which cycle you are in. In today's world, I don't think you could just stick to one. I think you need to bring a combination of both. But if you are in an industry where your product differentiation isn't there, your winning strategy is your experience.
So, unquestionably, I agree completely with Pranay. CX is a huge differentiator, and companies that are able to hang their hats on service as a differentiator separate themselves from the pack. It's true, you need a good product to underpin it all, but service and customer experience deliver the magic that bind customers and build a trusted relationship with organizations that consumers want to return to over and over again. And that trust can be eroded quickly when that customer experience is not sustained. So critically important.
So there are two parts to it, right? If you can't measure, you can't see. If you can't see, then everything's subjective, right? So the first thing you need to do is you have your proper baseline. So there needs to be an acknowledgement that, hey, I need the right tools, technology, because that gives you what we call the science elements, right? Then you need to put in programs around it, and then you need to start looking at that. So you always look at your as-is position, right? And you benchmark that against industry best practice, and we are privileged enough to have a lot of customer services frameworks in our industry, best in class in terms of product and technology, right? So you look at your as-is, you look at your to-be. The challenge most organizations fall into, or the trap, specifically in this part of the world, in Asia, is we all want to be best in class without realizing three things. Number one, will my customers adopt what I'm trying to do? Very important. Two, does it really give me a advantage when it comes to my value proposition? And last but not least, will I benefit from it commercially or not, right? So when you do your as is to do B, you need to do your gap analysis, but realization as to what are the must-dos that will really give me what I call my bang for my buck versus the should-dos, the could-dos. And the most important one is things that I don't need to do. Although there's a hype cycle out there that XYZ is doing it and I may be seen as a laggard, chances are it's not part of your business model. We all know that the dollar has to stretch so far in the business, so you need to hedge your bet. So these things are there today. Genesis and NTT, we've partnered over the years to build these best practices. We have advisory engagements that help our clients bridge that gap. And the gap is only bridged with technology and services that we take to market here.
Yeah, I agree completely, and I would double click on the technology component. I mean, you can survey customers, you can survey your employees, but technology today enables you to very clearly see where those gaps are. And so if you're using one of the analytics tools from NTT or our Point-to-List journey orchestration package, and you see that your customers are falling out in a specific point, you have the technology to see where the gap is, whether it's on the CX side or the EX side. I'm not giving my employees the tools to solve this problem, or I'm not giving the consumer the self-service capability to transact on something that they'd happily transact on their own, which is the best outcome, by the way. And so technology is a really the critical layer now, and the interpretation of what the technology shows us with analytics packages and things like that is what drives that ability to understand those gaps and then remedy them.
To disrupt, to transform, what you need is you need the element of trust. With Genesis, we have almost a 30-year relationship in what we call transforming customer experience. For us, we've seen the rough times together, and now we're living the magical moments where customer experience is right in center of every business. What Genesis allows me to do, it allows me to actually make a difference in the world I live in, empowering solutions in emergency services, the largest banks, government entities, and the like. What we do touch lives, what we do matter. And I foresee this relationship just growing strength to strength as we go and solve the next problem and the next problem, the next problem. Because at the end of the day, like I said when we started, we're in the business of creating delight, creating emotional connections. We're in the business of making people realize that there's so much good still in the world.
I say this partnership, this handshake between our companies is an enduring part of the service value that we provide. Genesis Software occupies one small part, an important part, but one small part in the technology stack of these companies that are committed to CX transformation. And NTT has an ecosystem around our technology and other elements of the technology stack that weave it together and put a rich texture around the software package and deliver services that make the whole thing sing together.
Good customer experience has a direct reflection to a company's bottom line. If a company is profitable, the company provides better to the society, to the employees, to the economy. And we elevate each other and we live a better life. Right? That is what the experience economy, or the potential of the experience economy, is. Our relationship, you spoke about the ROI. Yeah?
Right.
Quite often in the industry, people have not measured the benefits of this experience. We have the opportunity now to do that, right? Because it's not just about the tools and the software and everything we provide, it's about the entire value ecosystem. I can hand on heart say that every business whose net promoter score is up are very profitable, right? My own business, every one of my entities I have, we run NPS scores for both employees and we run CSAT scores for our customers. And the ones that are in the green, which most of them are, thank God, profitability is through the roof. The ones that are slightly challenged, we have work to do. So we can see that directly in our business. So we take that same mantra when we go into helping other customers of ours solve this problem. So there's a direct correlation between good customer service, good CX, and profitability.
Unquestionably. ROI is a critical metric for any business person, any executive. And to Pranay's point, good CX and EX drive ROI. CX is a revenue driver, EX is a cost savings driver, and executives who focus on CX and EX as a business imperative are orders of magnitude more successful than those who aren't. And it's a differentiator. It's an expected capability from companies today as the power goes to the consumer, because consumers have choice and consumers can speak openly on social platforms to anybody and understand where they want to invest their time and their dollars. CX and EX drive ROI.
When we look at customer experience, it's not a one-time, one investment cycle and you walk away. This is a life cycle, number one. The second element, to deliver good customer experience, it's not a client-vendor relationship. It has to be a partnership. We all have to understand each other's goals and ambitions and the likes to be able to gel together. So these are fundamental shifts, right, that one needs to take into consideration when they embark on this journey. So it is evergreen. You need to be agile in the way you think and the way you deliver. You need to balance the art of science, the art of customer experience with science. You need to invest in the right areas, and your people are the biggest asset in your business. Apple has one of the best products we've seen, but the emphasis they put on the people, phenomenal. Why? As Asaf said, as you walk in, hello sir, we've been expecting you. We quickly forget we spent $1,000 and it's a delight. You see where I'm going with this, yeah? So you got to daisy chain them, and if you start to realize this end to end, you're onto a winning formula. Technology is an enabler, right? Technology isn't the answer only, right? So if you look at most of the problems we are solving today, right, when there's an acknowledgement of the issue, we have to balance or harness the power of technology to be able to address this gap. So the word customer experience sometimes very widely and loosely used, right? But when you peel the onion, you suddenly realize that there is an element to do around the human side, and that is around people. There is a process element, and then there's a technology element. So you have to daisy chain all three. The beauty about where we are going now, with hardware being eaten by software, with on-prem to cloud, we're able to realize these benefits quicker. We're able to start on these journeys quicker. In the old days, not too long ago, prior to Genesis Cloud being born, businesses would have to make millions and millions of dollars of investment up front to be able to see if it actually makes a dent. Today, it's a very simple process. The onboarding is simple. It's change management. It's getting, the business rules and all that right. So how does technology help? It enables. It enables us to make decisions quick. It enables us to look at blind spots that we've not seen in the past, and it enables us to consume different models to be able to adapt our business as and when we are ready.
Technology enablement, as you say, is precisely the key. I think about companies that are doing things today that we can't imagine living without, that are quite young. Either the company is young or the process innovation that they have delivered to the market is quite young. So examples that come to mind are Uber. We've had taxis and transportation services for centuries. Uber changed the game. I think about Airbnb. People have been renting homes or vacation spots for centuries or millennia, and Airbnb changed the way we do it. I think about the retail experience, the magic of walking into an Apple store when you've already ordered your product, and that happy, engaged young person walks up to you in their Apple shirt and says, "Oh, we've been expecting you." And they deliver your iPhone or your AirPods or whatever expensive gadget you're buying for your children. And so I think about the enablement, how technology has been brought to bear in service of transforming existing businesses. You've been in business for 200 years, you said earlier.
Yep.
Think how different the business is today than it was just 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And so I think that that technology enablement is fascinating. It's why I love being in the industry we're in and partnering with NTT on delivering some of that magical transformation in industries that are critical to just about everybody.